Hey folks, I'm here with Jared Ivey. He's from a little company called Sigma. You may have heard of them. They make lenses. He's here at f64 Live. We're going to talk a little bit about what Sigma is up to and why people should consider third-party lenses versus OEM lenses. What do you think?
Well, first, thanks for having me here. It's a great workshop that you guys have going on. Third-party versus standard manufacturer lenses. There is some truth to for many years. You kind of got what you paid for.
Yeah.
I know that Sigma as a company, for many years, they did have some good lenses here and there, but for the most part, you would get what you paid for. But it did serve a purpose in the market. But things kind of shifted about 10 years ago, where Sigma started making lenses that could compete with the major camera manufacturers at the time.
In some cases, rival them, right?
It did, yes,
Yeah.
and then at a lower price point. But Sigma in 2012 realized that as digital had already far eclipsed 35 millimeter film, it was just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And the lenses they were making at the time they weren't going to keep up. So if they really wanted to put a name for themselves in the marketplace, they really kind of had to shift what they were doing. So they decided in 2012 that they wanted to re-engineer their entire line. Mm-hmm. And the new direction that they went, they called the new product line the Sigma Global Vision line of lenses, with 3 new product lines, art, contemporary, and sports. And the goal was just to make the highest quality lenses possible, but still keeping them at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And so far they've done that. They really put themselves on the map with professional photographers as well as hobbyists and entry level because of the price point. The cost to performance ratio on the Sigma lenses is it's phenomenal.
How do you guys deal with that? I don't want to call it a stigma, but just the price perception model, where people assume if it's a lower price, it's lower quality, when it's not necessarily the case. There's that factor, and then also in this market, there's the factor of, well, if I bought a Sony or Nikon or Canon camera, I'm just going to buy that lens to go with it. How do you break through the price perception thing as well as the breaking them from being married to the manufacturer of the camera body?
It's all about education. Really what people are paying for when it comes to to higher priced lenses. In some cases it is materials, but a lot of times it's marketing. If you look at the price point of lenses that cost 30 to 50, sometimes 100% more than what the Sigma lens in the same category, those manufacturers typically do a lot of national advertising, global advertising. They sponsor major sporting events and have major celebrity sponsors. Sigma, it's a completely different company than the other lens manufacturers on the market right now. It's a family-owned, privately held company.
It is?
Yes. The company's been around for almost 60 years, and the gentleman that started it, he ran it until he passed away in 2012, and his son took over, and it's still running the company. Okay. So because they don't have shareholders that they have to answer to, they can pretty much do whatever they want. Right. And what they have chosen to do is, as a business model, have 80% of their budget goes into production, and only 20 goes into sales and administration. So as a company, we run very lean. We don't do a lot of advertising, but we do believe in producing a good quality, which with the internet today, it does help spread the word of the quality. The other is boots on the ground, and we go to events like this where we allow people to come and try our products.
You have to feel it, right? You have to look and feel the quality, especially for an object like a lens, because as a photographer, we all know that you put your money in glass, right? Yes. Camera bodies will come and go, but glass is hopefully long term. So along that vein, what's the durability of Sigma glass versus OEM glass, right? Lenses, in terms of, okay, if I buy a Nikon or whatever lens, I can be sure, especially with their professional services, that this lens is going to last me for a decade or so. Do you guys have this sort of the same kind of lifetime on your lenses?
Yes. I still talk to people that have lenses even back, from the 90s, and some even the 80s that are still going.
Yeah.
But the durability of the lenses, now it's improved even more. We have metal where there needs to be metal, where it needs to be durable. We have polycarbonate materials where we can use something that's lighter weight that may not need to withstand as much kind of impact. Yeah. But if you look at most of the parts of the art and the sports lenses, there's a lot of metal to them.
That's a beautiful lens.
They're really, really robust. They all have a 4-year warranty here in the U.S. They are built to last. I mean, my personal lens, the 120-300 Sports in that camera bag, about 4 years ago, it fell off of a tripod onto asphalt. Yeah. And it's got some big dings out of the aluminum body. I've never had to have it recollimated or calibrated since then. It's still, sharp as a tack. Yeah.
So what's next for Sigma? What can we look forward to? I know you can't talk about things that are secret, but what's public that you can tell us about?
I don't know any secrets anyway, so I find that out the same
That's
day
what
as
all people
else.
that know secrets say.
But no, the next thing we're really excited about is the camera market, because Sigma, it's kind of a surprise to a lot of people that Sigma does make cameras. We've been making cameras for a long time. We own a company called Foveon, which is very interesting.
Oh yeah, the Foveon sensor. Yeah.
It makes incredible images, but there are some limitations that a lot of photographers they just don't understand, or it doesn't happen to work within what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But Sigma did announce last month that they're coming out with a Bayer sensor, full-frame mirrorless camera. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the world's smallest as of right now. Yeah, the FP camera.
That little box.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw the videos with it decked out for all situations.
Yeah, photo and cine. So we're going to see that. We're hoping here in a few months. Pretty soon they're going to have the pricing and availability for that lens. And the fact that we are starting to make lenses redesigned totally for mirrorless. What we've done so far, like on our Sony, back here. For instance, on the lenses that we have, up until a few months ago for Sony were basically the lenses that we had designed for DSLRs, and they basically just put a Sony mount, but just gave a little bit of space to make up for the mirror box and the flange distance. Yeah. And people, they're incredible. It's giving great images. The autofocus is fast. People are really happy with them, except for the size. Yeah. So now that other manufacturers are dedicating themselves to making full-frame mirrorless cameras, it just makes sense for Sigma to start making lenses dedicated for full-frame mirrorless. Now that we have our own, coming. Most recently we just started shipping a 35 1.2 that's made for mirrorless ground up. What's neat is it does actually have an aperture on it that you could declick if you want to. So if you're shooting video, that's really important.
So you're going to have click stops or smooth?
Correct. Just on that lens. Now there's a new 14 to 24 2.8 that's also made that we're having for Sony E mounts and L mount lenses, and there's definitely more to come in that line.
Lovely, lovely. Yeah, there's a bunch to ask you. We'll end it on this. So you open the door. You guys are moving into the camera market, the full frame camera market. There's players in there. There's Nikon, there's Canon, Panasonic just threw their hat in with the S1 series. Fuji, there's a bunch of players in that space. Why does Sigma think that they can compete successfully in there? Or are you trying to compete? Are you going in a slightly different direction than the crowd's going?
So we were with the Foveon sensor, and it was the founder's vision to be a camera manufacturer. He always wanted to be a camera manufacturer, and that's why he purchased Foveon and went that direction. But Sigma realized that the Foveon sensor is not for everyone, and with everyone else making cameras nowadays, they were kind of going two different directions. Yeah. Sigma has put a lot of interest in the motion picture market as well with their new cine lenses. Mm-hmm. So this camera has a lot of interesting features, both on the cine side as well as on the photography side. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. That's one of the things we're talking about now is looking at the markets and try to pitch it, because the fact that the camera is very, very small. So there's something unique there, but also what that little machine can do as far as resolution, frames per second, but then also on the motion picture side. Yeah. So it's not the last camera you're going to see from Sigma, but it's the first of its type. And making cameras also gives us a unique perspective on building building lenses.
Yeah.
You know, that the other manufacturers, they see it from the ground up, whereas up until now, we've only really been seeing it just through the lens. Yeah. But actually building a camera, going through the entire process from beginning to end of making an image, gives us a different perspective in creating glass.
Love it. Love it. Take all that experience that you've had over the decades, building world-class glass, and now applying it to bodies with an eye to what the market wants and where the market is going, right? So,
correct.
Yeah, very good. Jared, thank you, man.
Yeah, Frederick, thank you.
For coming on.
One last thing I think I want to mention, you know, I'm not sure how many people know this, but Sigma has opened a West Coast location now where it's a Japanese company, our US subsidiary headquarters in New York, but November of last year we actually opened a huge facility in Burbank, California.
Okay.
So it's kind of cine-centric because of the location, because of the product line, but in that location we do have all of our products there. We have a huge showroom, big display of lenses. They call it the lens wall, and it has every product that we make there. We have a big set with lights. We have a nice lounge. So people are welcome Monday through Friday to come in and demo any of our products at any time, and then we do have events there periodically, both on the motion picture side and the photography side. So you can find more information at sigmacine.com, or for our still products, sigmaphoto.com.
Sigmacine.com and sigmaphoto.com, right? All right, man.
Thanks
so
Frederick.
much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right,
thank
enjoy
you.
the show.
Thanks.
All right. See you guys in the next one.